ready, Jane?
I'm ready.
Okay. 응답하라 여친.
Go to the into the 시.
박 to the 경 to the Jew.
Yay!
Got it. We're on it again. Jane, our new reality obsession has come to an end.
Squid Game, the challenge.
You know, I didn't think we would watch it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, right?
I was fully not planning to watch it.
Because I do remember us talking about it a little bit, and I didn't think we would actually invest in watching, but somehow we got sucked in, and it went quick.
It really did.
It was only, 10 or 11 episodes?
10 episodes.
Yeah,
only.
It was quick, and I was really surprised by that because with the amount of money that was on the line, I thought they would drag the show out.
$4.56 million.
4.56
like a lottery
million
jackpot.
dollars.
Like a small jackpot.
I think like Big Brother, Amazing Race, they're all at like, I swear they were at 500,000, but then they became maybe 1 million. But 4.56.
Yeah. Truly life-changing money.
Because millionaires are not what it used to be.
Right. Is that why? Is it just inflation?
I mean, they could have said 2 million and would have been still, but 4.56 is something else. Like quadruple what a normal, typical reality. Remember what that one show, Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire? Remember that?
Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire?
Do you remember? It was like this Joe Schmuck kind of guy.
Yes.
But it turned out he wasn't a millionaire. He was just like some schlup.
No. But is that where the spinoff Average Joe came from? There was also a spinoff which was
really,
or maybe that was from Bachelor. I don't know. There was a spinoff which was Average Joe, and it was kind of sad, but it was like, oh, he's just like not your typical guy, like Bachelor type of thing.
Well, the Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire, at the end they found out he's not a millionaire.
What a disappointment,
right?
But was that the
I think
point
that's the
of the
concept.
show?
I think that was the concept.
Okay, so it's like who's really here because they are in love with him. Okay.
But
for the right reasons type of thing.
Who are you rooting for?
No one.
I know. I think this was the show where I truly did not give a fuck who won.
I didn't know. It didn't spend. There wasn't a lot of buildup or even investment in divulging who these characters were.
And if you got to know them just sympathy. If you got to know them, what started to feel like, I know this person, then they were like out. Right.
Or you were maybe growing a fondness for the person, and then something that they did made you change their mind in the next challenge type of thing. All the snippets were so short, and out of context. Like little snippets here and there of them telling a little bit about their backstory.
Right.
But we really didn't get their stories.
No, and just when you think like they opened the door to somebody, they're gone. I remember what I did find that I liked, especially in the beginning, because remember that really annoying macho guy who's like, "Don't cry, bro. Don't don't be weak,
so
bro."
Annoyed.
Yeah,
Brighton.
I was like,
the one
oh my god.
He was like, "I love myself so much." Right? I love the way God made me.
Yeah, like everything about me was just so like perfect. I am the image of perfection. I was like, oh my god, if I have to hear one more from this guy, and then he was dead.
Yeah.
And I was so happy. And anytime that I started to get annoyed, they were like,
oh, that's
done. Yeah, so that was like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
So honestly, people annoyed me more. It was more of a show where who annoyed me the most and who went the fastest. It felt so rapid fire.
It was very rapid fire.
Maybe that is why I watched. Because it was like, bam, bam, bam.
I was disappointed that they didn't do tug of war.
Oh, I know. I
really
kept thinking it was coming, and it never came.
Yeah.
And then the final game wasn't the Squid Game. It was rock, paper, scissors.
Right. I guess they couldn't do the Squid Game because that was really what? They had to fight to the death, right?
but it's based on a children's game, right?
You know what's interesting? My dad said he's never heard of that game.
I also have never heard of that.
Maybe it's a very obscure.
Okay.
yard game.
So in the actual show, when they had to fight to the death, like they did, but I was thinking the actual child's game, you don't have to fight to the death, right?
Sure. So you thought they would play.
Yeah. So I thought it was gonna.
Maybe rock, paper, scissors was more universal.
True.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know this, but I didn't know that rock, paper, scissors was so apparently psychological. Did you know that?
I kind of knew that. You mean in terms of like tracking how she was tracked? Oh, when Mai said men tend to put out rock
or actually
scissor.
Not even just men. Most people tend to go rock first.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that was a thing. Did you know? Yeah,
No.
that they feel more strength in a rock or scissors because it's more of a action tool that takes control, I guess. Whereas paper has a more yielding feel. So I didn't know that. And then I guess there's been other TikToks about how this game, rock, paper, scissors, is, there's patterns involved and it's about observing patterns.
Yes,
and one action leads to another action.
Yes.
And that's why Mai kept winning.
Yes.
And that did ultimately get her, to be the $4.56 million winner. But
did you feel it was anticlimactic when she opened the safe?
Actually, for me, it wasn't even before the safe. It wasn't the safe. It was during the dinner.
The steak dinner.
Yeah, and you know how it was like, you can pick gray?
Yeah.
Or I knew she would get gray. I was like, it would be...
I expected gray too.
Do you think, so that part where they say, okay, you have 3 choices. You're either going to get gray, red, or green. Did you think that they had pre-planned it?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
No.
No,
right? No. I
No.
don't think they had pre-planned it. I thought that they would
change according to the person.
Who chose to go.
And I said, oh my God, Mai's going to get gray.
Yeah.
And then when that guy went up, you're going to get red.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be as fun.
No.
Mai, I wasn't rooting for her because she annoyed me. But like around that time, I was like, she is very, you can't help but watch her.
Respect.
Yeah.
I felt that.
She played the game.
I remember the first time I saw Mai in the show.
Yeah.
And the image of her and just her whole demeanor kind of left an impression on me.
You know what I was thinking? That she's like, oh my gosh, she's like the old man from the show.
And I saw a TikTok like that.
You did? I didn't even see that, but that's what I was like thinking.
Between the release of like episodes 1 to 9 and then between the finale, I was watching some TikToks. And there was a TikTok from a creator who said, who does this contestant remind you of? Don't they remind you of somebody?
Yeah.
And then, Lee Jung-jae's character from Squid Game. And so I was like, like she's one to watch. But probably starting from like episode 8 or 9, it became pretty clear that she would be a front runner.
Yeah, and she was the one that from the get-go that actually had the most camera time, I feel.
Oh, yeah?
Because, she steadily had camera time with her friendships that she
really
formed
did,
with TJ. The whole, she still was very paranoid about TJ, even though he was all in on her, that kind of thing, remember? So, so she would get these little stories here and there, and then it started building more and more. Definitely more camera time than either of the other two.
Yes.
Because the other two felt like an abrupt jump.
Yes.
And I was like, I still don't know who these people are.
Right. And in the beginning, like the earlier episodes, you see a lot of friendships or partnerships or little alliances, but she never was really part of, she had, like Chad and
and
TJ
I still didn't
and
understand.
1 or 2 people that she was chummy with. But I always saw her kind of confident to be alone. And just kind of confident to
she didn't do
being
clicks.
very realistic about the nature and the goal of the game.
And I never understood where her and Chad bonded so heavily. Like what held them together.
It
there
was
must have been something
maternal mother-son type of bond.
But I don't feel like they showed it, so I never felt keen on them as a pair. But clearly, he put his life on the show in her hands.
He did.
which I thought was like, whoa, I would never, right? Be like, you make my life choice for me. That was bizarre to me. And so I feel like there's a lot of editing done. And I don't know if the editing's all that good because it feels so choppy.
Right. I think especially that Glass Bridge episode, there was heavy editing.
Yeah.
That probably, so I think that and the Red Light, Green Light were two of the best games because it seemed very
very
real, very similar to
the show
and the premise. The way they fall.
Oh yeah, I was like,
was so terrifying.
That's the worst.
I wanted to see where they land.
Yeah,
just show me a glimpse.
Would you do it? Would you do the show? If someone from the show,
we talked about this last time. Right?
I know. But now that we have if it was Squid Game, and they contacted you and said, Jane, we want you for the show, which is what I had happen.
I think I would consider it.
Okay.
Because it came down to luck.
Yeah, that's what I love about this show. It's not these like complicated games.
Skill or mind games.
Yeah, it comes with a little bit of luck, a little bit of making good choices, a little bit of, playing the game.
And that was kind of the premise of the original drama too, right? Was all these people, the people who were
it could be anybody.
Strong, the men, they're thinking, oh yeah, we have an edge, and then tug of war, like, prove them wrong that you don't have to have that, right? And it was really Lee Jung-jae's character who he kind of got through every round with luck and kind of thinking outside.
So when you said she reminded you, are you talking about Lee Jung-jae?
Lee Jung-jae, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking the old man.
Oh, I mean that could be too. No, they both went very far.
For me, the vibe that Mai gave off was very like, remember the movie Usual Suspects? And Kevin Spacey was like this like little like humble nobody, which just by the way,
kind of like a
got through.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he turns around and he has that limp, and you're like, oh, it's him. I feel like for the people on the show, the actual show, that's how they perceived her.
Yes, that she was kind of unassuming the whole time, under the radar, did not have strong friendships. Or
but it was like
big game.
Super impressive. When she guessed who,
so impressive.
Yeah.
In the Circle of Trust game.
Yeah. That's where she really shined.
Yeah.
And that poor, I wonder what that one guy, Roland, the one. What is he thinking?
The way she said, who's gonna do your hair?
And then I was like, but then he said, oh, that answer is so good. It almost sounds pre-planned. I was like, he got it. And then he was like, oh, no, but I trust you completely, Mai.
Completely. So she was very skilled in winning trust, but remaining skeptical of everyone else.
Yeah. And she played it. Yeah. That was how it was meant to be played. Yeah. So I think when I finally did like her, was when she shared her story about being pregnant at 19.
Right.
That I was like, oh, this lady is so annoying, and she's because she questions everybody else's skepticism so harshly when she's doing the same shit herself. So I was like, you're such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
But when she opened up about, I was like, this woman's been through
even
trauma.
Before that, when she's talking about being an 8-year-old in Vietnam and
wanted to look back, and her
point a gun.
Yeah, and her mom shoved her back down.
That was so real.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Not about Circle of Trust, but I don't know. I lost a thought.
At the end, when she, I did. Even though I wasn't rooting for her, I guess some part after her sharing the story about being 19, I was like, oh, my heart. But I don't know if I was still rooting for her. But after she won, and she broke down and said, anybody can do it. You have to let go of your fear, and your fear is what holds you back. That. Coming from her, this old, unassuming Asian American woman.
Mm-hmm.
That felt powerful to me.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't been rooting for her, but when she did win, I said, you know what? She played the game the best. And she persevered because I did feel bad for her when people started turning on her.
Right. After the glass. Was it after the glass?
Yeah,
bridge?
when she...
And then after that die.
I was surprised. I'm like, there's something we're not seeing because I was surprised that nobody understood why she chose Ashley.
Yeah. I watched, again, some TikToks about it. And I think that portion was heavily edited.
Yeah.
Where there came a point where Ashley did need to jump.
And she did.
But Mai was all the way in the back.
Yeah.
And she's only remembering the beginning part when Ashley and Trey, player 301, Ashley's like refusing or taking her time in jumping. And some of the other players have come forward and said there was a point where Trey kind of went AWOL and kept taking jumps because there was some kind of misunderstanding and he kind of mistook it as, oh, I have to keep taking this risk.
Well, I thought it was because she would not do it, and she was eating up the time.
Right, I thought so too, and I think that's how the show made it look.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, she did eventually take a jump, but I thought, everybody had a pact, and it was your turn, and when you were not, I could understand Mai's frustration. Yeah. But
the fact that nobody else
I was surprised that they were like, oh, I can't believe that she would choose Ashley.
Right.
Like,
there probably was
something else.
Something else that we didn't see. Oh, one thing I was going to say is about did you notice how many times, or they just kept bringing it up in editing, but she said several times, I want to be in control of my own destiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is respectable because you see so many people just giving up because it's luck or asking somebody else to take it.
I did feel when it was the three of them and the two guys would not they were scared. I thought it was cowardly. And I thought, you know what? I guess at that point I thought, hey, if she wins, she took her shot.
Yeah.
And you guys sat back.
Right.
And didn't do shit. So I thought that was well deserved in that moment. But I don't know if you felt about this, but I did feel what an aspect that I did not like about the show. I feel like they villainized an Asian woman and a black woman, Ashley,
and pitted them against each other.
Yeah, and I read an interview. Where Ashley was asked, "Who are you rooting for?" And she said, Sam's my boy, Phil is great, but ultimately, I root for Mai. She was the best competitor on that game. She's wise, loving, and caring.
Wow.
But that's not what you got from watching the show.
No, I think they...
that part sucked for me because, how typical for you to villainize these two women of color.
Right.
And I don't know, that left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I can see that. I think, in this age of reality TV and so much reality television series, and then also the ability to go right to Instagram or TikTok and hear directly from the contestants. Yeah. We're having to, the first time we watch something, we're having to watch it with a much more critical lens. Yeah. Instead of, I would say 10 years ago, we would be so quick to point out the villains and the heroes in a reality drama. But then now you're realizing it's just people. It's people who signed a contract to do this, but then it's ultimately Netflix or whoever is producing it, their job to make it a story and a series that can be compelling to watch. You kind of have to amp everything up. So any conflict, something, you have to amp it up.
Yeah, and I love that we are living in a time where we've all now been through that stage. Yeah. And now we're better. I want to say that we're more experienced viewers now. And like you said, there's a level of standard for us to look into, okay, but there's got to be more.
Right.
And I'm thankful
yes.
that the blinds have come off somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah. People want to, gosh, we went through this phase where we just wanted
a villain.
Reality. Yeah. A villain, and we wanted it to be real and true.
Yeah.
but it's not, that's not life. So I hope that these people who are getting trolled or whatever, that they're okay, that they have a good head on their shoulders.
Yeah.
And that we can all, at the end of the day, see it as entertainment, and it was a show.
It's wild.
There's stuff that happens that you don't see. But yeah, isn't that such a weird, like an odd cycle now? It's like you have to, first you do the filming of the show,
right?
And the show airs, and then you got to do the whole listening to everybody, all the people on that show defending their actions or their edits or whatever.
It's a wild time.
It is.
I just read this morning that a mother influencer, she has a I don't know her. I just briefly went through it, but it was a mother-daughter influencer duo, and like her daughter's only like 12, and the concept, I think, of their account is mother and her bestie. They're they're both beautiful, obviously, and they have millions of followers. She's pulling out her 12-year-old from school to be a full-time influencer.
Oh wow!
What do you think about that? But that's what the reason I started to even think that is because these people on the show, they're not just going for the 4.5-6 million. It's for the exposure, right?
Absolutely.
And they can totally use it as a jump off point.
Absolutely.
To
create all the finalists now also have.
They will all have.
They all do. All the people who are featured.
Yeah.
So is that the mom who's pulling out her daughter and supporting her in pursuing her career, how is that different from
any other thing? Exactly. Hollywood moms or a mom who has an athletic daughter.
Yep.
But it sounds so bad, right? Because influencer has a bad reputation
any Olympic athlete.
Yeah.
Those parents and families went to the extremes.
Yeah, and of course she's going to get homeschooled and get all the education, in her own schedule, whatever. But it still has this. We're still living in a time where it's like transitioning, maybe.
Yeah.
Where influencer is not considered still a real job.
And I think it's just hard for us still in 2023 to conceptualize people living outside of the way
the standard
most people live.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, this girl probably makes more than both of us.
I believe it.
And you make good money, but she is, I think,
life-changing, and that's probably what she'll do for a while.
Yeah.
But then she'll probably be a mega star.
You know, I had a friend who swore off doing reality shows or YouTube shows, that kind of thing, because they got such bad backlash for that kind of exposure. And then after watching Squid Game, they're like, I'm ready to go back to a reality show. I was like, but for me, watching the show, I don't know that I would say yes. I mean, I'm sure I would say yes when it comes to, but if I'm just thinking theoretically,
really have to
it kind of makes it ick. Only because, the actual show played off of this idea that we live in this culture where we commodify everything, and everything is driven by our capitalistic desires, right? To a point of just a sickening aspect.
Yes.
And then they make a reality show based on that concept, and people are so eager to be on this show. And of course, 4.56 million, that's, why wouldn't you be driven by that? Right. But
it is.
It's like, oh, are we living a Black Mirror episode? It feels like it. I couldn't watch that show after season 1. Do you watch it?
Squid Game?
No, Black Mirror.
Oh, Black Mirror. No, we talked about this. I've never watched Black Mirror.
Never? Not a single episode. Why not?
I don't know. I just never.
It's deep, Jane.
There's so much out there competing for
your attention,
my watching time.
I've
just never done it.
It's the most, I feel, unsettling show about. I think you as an you're an influencer. What, you don't like that title, right?
I don't know.
What do we like better, content creator?
I know. That's why I just tell people no. I stay home.
You know what's funny, Jane? You yourself don't give credit to what you do.
That's right. So
I have never met someone who has such towards you
because I don't think I'm that good at it. So why would I give myself credit about
you don't feel you're good at it? Are you kidding me?
I see so many people who are just so good at it, and I think
no. I think
that's their calling. For me,
yes.
I don't
that's what it is. No. It's not that you're not good at it. You're good at it, but you don't have the passion and zeal. For that's what it is. You just do it because you can.
I think my entire life I've gone through just kind of every time at every crossroads, what are you passionate about? What are you
were passionate about reporting.
I think for a while in that stage.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What were you most passionate about in life up to this point?
I don't know.
No, motherhood. You're very passionate about motherhood.
Motherhood.
But career-wise, ambition-wise, I know you've had it. What do you...
Yeah, probably when I was working as a reporter.
If you were given an opportunity, if someone came up to you and said, Jane, pick a career. You're going to just get to do it full-time. You're going to have all the support.
Yeah.
What would you pick?
I would probably pick something like this. Talking and interviewing people.
Yes.
And conversing with them because that's what I enjoy, and getting to know them in that way. And a long time ago,
you would be a better Barbara Walters. Younger, hotter, Asian Barbara Walters, and kinder. You know Barbara Walters was a bitch?
Yeah, she was savage.
She was so awful. How did we let that woman?
I don't know. She just got away with everything. Maybe it was her petite stature and just tell it like it is. And her.
It's because also the culture is changing.
Yes.
And I'm so thrilled and happy that we get to live through this time of change and not just sit back and say this is acceptable. I think it's great.
You hear so many things like, oh, the golden era of this is over. The golden era of that is over.
Yeah, I don't feel that way.
It's a new
I think a lot of white men feel that way. But I'm
Their
like,
golden era is over.
Now is our time. Whiting. But
I mean, some people genuinely, unironically grieve that.
I know. That's not me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they hate me so much. Because that's the stuff I talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm proud of the new generation being more critical.
Yes.
Wanting to question everything. Having the access.
Yes. The access is huge.
So we did not.
The ability to, we just had to watch a piece of art or, and just accept it for what it is. We could never go back to the original source, hear from them. So it's such...
We couldn't Google it.
What a time. We couldn't Google it.
Google was not free.
Nope. Do you remember when IMDb came out? How monumental that was?
Yeah. We thought, whoa, blow my mind. But... did you see this TikTok
era
where there was someone that was like, hey, guys, I just cannot imagine. It was a kid. I mean, not a kid, but probably Gen Z. I cannot imagine a time where you couldn't Google something. What did you do?
It was just in 1995.
Yeah. And I was like, we believed everything we heard. I mean, you didn't have anything to combat Dare. We've talked about Dare before, but I thought I was scared out of my fucking mind about drugs.
Yeah. The minute you picked up a joint, you would hear sirens. That's what you thought would happen.
I thought, oh my God.
Or I thought I would suck helium out of a balloon and just die. Like,
yeah.
So I never did it at parties.
Oh yeah.
I was
and
like, no,
crack
I will not
was
bend
like,
to peer pressure.
Yeah, crack would just boom.
Yeah.
Take you out immediately.
Death. Yeah.
Oh, like you would blow up into dust, right?
But those and those movies that they would have you watch.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that the police would just raid into you as soon as you held a joint.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Drug is
They're
whack,
always
you know?
watching. I know.
I thought, wow. And now it's like I hear people that tell me like, yeah, I had some crack this weekend. And I'm like I was like this? I don't even know. I mean, I'm still I still feel like
I saw it at
baby.
Coachella.
Oh, wow.
They were I was like, what is going on there?
You saw it at Coachella. I love the way you said it. Like, I saw it at Coachella. We're like,
because we were in this, like we were at a DJ show and we were in a dance tent and there were some people and they were doing a line of, I imagine,
just out in the open.
Yeah.
I know. What do you even call it? Is it crack?
It was like white powder, but it was on, they were using like.
Blow? Is it called blow?
Glasses, like the arm of sunglasses, just like the.
What? Wait.
You know
Start over.
Sunglasses?
Yes, sunglasses.
They were using the arm of
the sunglasses.
Of the sunglasses
to chop up.
Doing a line. So we're like dancing, and mind you, I was so sober because I was so tired, so exhausted. I'm like, I cannot possibly have alcohol on top of me. So like, what's happening? What is that? They're like, oh yeah.
You wait. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around. So they took off their sunglasses.
I don't know when they. No, I didn't see that whole process. I just saw them like.
But you saw a line on their sunglass arm.
Yeah.
And they were going.
That's what it looked like. That's why I did a double take. Like
that. Do you know how? I mean that line.
I don't know how they. I mean the skills.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The skills because that line isn't
resourceful.
Thick.
I don't know.
Wow.
But that was me.
Because they're dancing. There's no place to set the crack.
I guess. Yeah. There's nowhere to sit down. Everybody's standing.
Honestly,
you can't
that's
sit down.
pretty
You'll
amazing.
Get trampled.
I'm the ingenuity.
I'm telling you.
What? I'm so flat. The amount of skill it would take to take off the glasses. Wow. You would have to sprinkle it.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean,
maybe they did it beforehand, and I don't know.
Maybe it was like wrapped, and then they pulled off.
Yeah,
the
maybe.
sleeve.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I've never seen that firsthand. So,
what's the hardest drug you've ever done? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but our producer is laughing at us.
I haven't done anything.
No, I
haven't done anything.
You've
the dare really got me.
You've never smoked a joint.
Mm-mm.
I've never. I just don't like smoke. So I've done edibles. You've done edibles.
No, I haven't.
You drink.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
So alcohol. Wow. Should we, for an episode, smoke a joint together?
I'm scared.
Wouldn't that be a good episode?
Scared. I don't know.
We could have our producer Blake monitor the situation.
Oh
I feel like he's an expert. I'm not. The way he's scoffing at us the whole time in this episode. That would be. We should ask our listeners how many.
You know, this is why I had so much resentment for my parents whenever they didn't let me do anything. I would just think, you have no idea.
Yeah.
The things I could be doing.
You're
I'm willingly choosing not to do, and yet you're so strict with me. Like, you have no idea.
You should tell your parents, you're lucky I didn't go join the Navy and got pregnant. And that's what mine did. She was so restricted. And was like, I want to be free, and then did the most extreme thing.
Yeah.
They're lucky you didn't just completely
run
go.
away.
Yeah.
I know.
But we can do it now, Jane. You and
I'm
I.
too tired now. I just want to live a quiet life.
I just want to live. There was, I can't remember what Korean drama it was. I think it might have been. You didn't watch it actually. Changgum? Did you watch Changgum?
No, I don't think so.
There was an episode where one of the Changgum always got into so much drama. And there was one of the court ladies. I was like, oh, I don't want her life. I just want to live a quiet life. I just want to get through and not get through all the drama and just live peacefully in the palace and not get kicked out. It's the smart way to go. What about Ben? Has he ever done drugs?
No, he's never either.
He
says
not smoked a joint.
No.
Oh my God. Now I wish you guys came out to the show that I did, where I decided to go camping for the first time ever. Was that the show you guys came to before? No, I don't think so. And I had never done drugs. And at my tender age of like, I think 38, I decided to take brownies from a neighbor. And when you don't know.
So you had never either.
I had never.
Okay.
I was
You're one to talk.
No, I know. I'm talking because I'm doing it as a late bloomer.
Yeah.
So I understand.
You were my age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
I was your age.
Yeah, you were my age. I'm going to have a coming of age at 30.
I'm going to make you some brownie edibles.
No, I'm scared. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I got completely shit-faced.
Oh my gosh. What did you do?
Nobody tells you that, when you think you're having edibles or smoking a joint, you're supposed to just chillax.
Yeah.
Nobody told me that you could fucking get paranoid. Like, and just think that the whole night I thought I'm going to kill my children. I don't know why I thought I was going to kill my children because I was out in the woods and I was like, and all of a sudden we're sitting in a circle of campfire and then the fire, I was like, I don't feel anything. And all of a sudden the fire's like,
no.
And I'm like, ah! And I freaked the fuck out. And I was like,
did you take like too much?
I took, and I drank a bottle.
Eat, like,
oh my God, I ate like 4 brownies.
No.
Because I love brownies in general. And then I had a bottle of red wine and then I threw it all up. And it was like I murdered somebody because it was like red wine sludge brownie.
Yeah. Wow. Take that, Dan.
Yeah. So we'll do it in a monitored setting.
Okay. Yeah, it has to be like, when they when you do exposure therapy for a peanut allergy where
we'll have to sit here for like
hospital.
5 hours. Be like, do you feel anything, Jane? No, I don't, Ellen. Now? How about now?
So my daughter's allergist asked, do you want to start peanut exposure therapy?
Yes.
I'm like, no, no, I don't want to sit here in the doctor's office for an hour every time you give her,
We should just eat a plate of brownies and see how it goes.
This does not sound pleasant. No, thank you. But if it was like an edible kimbap, we can ask Sarah downstairs at Ulsan.
Yeah, that'll go over really well. Yeah. Hey, can I order some kimbap with, Okay, we'll save the drugs for next time.
Okay.
All right, ready? 응답하라, Yeochin.